Men nowadays make me sick. Look what just happened to my daughter. Just approached my daughter saying, hello, sexy. How dare she's 16 years old. How dare you come into her face and say, hello, sexy.
I just thought she was very cute.
You thought what, sorry?
She was very cute.
Do you not think that's very wrong, whether you think she's cute or not, to approach a young girl and say, hello, sexy?
How dare you come in my face like that?
Yes, I apologize.
Your apology is not accepted. You do not approach young girls in the street and call them sexy. It's terrible. I pray to God you haven't got children or grandchildren. Pray to God you haven't. Look,
You weirdo.
Vile. Stay away. And if you carry on saying it to other girls, I'm sure you'll be reported.
Yeah, you will.
Fucking report already.
I'll ring the police on you now.
Come away from it. Dirty bastard.
Oh, big thing, guys. Some elderly dude called her sexy. Oh no, God forbid, you know, call the police. I'm gonna call the police on you. Okay, call the National Guard. My hell, guys. But we'll actually cover this story later because YouTube is doesn't really fancy this type of content at the beginning of the video. So we'll save it for later. We'll have a discussion about the whole thing. But now, guys, let's rather start with a woman who has been on situationships and has self-inflicted some damage that she's gonna blame onto men, as they usually like to do. So like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, gentlemen. And now let's get started.
If you want to know how crazy my brain is, I'm going to tell you this story about my situationship. This is a situationship from Hinge, and it lasted all of 2.5 weeks. We went on one date. We both kind of like mutually ghosted each other. It kind of fizzled out. And then one random day, one of us texted the other, I don't even know, it's about something funny. And we were like, oh my God, why don't we hang out again? So then we hang out and we're both like, wait, we don't want anything serious. And so we kind of decide, okay, it's going to be like a mutually not exclusive, like low commitment situationship with no strings. Best thing ever, okay? Stay with me. So then we do that for about 2 weeks, and then silly little me goes to Nashville before I moved there, and I get really drunk. God forbid a girl has a good time. And I post my silly little TikToks, and I talk about my roster on one of my TikToks. They were bad.
So she just said, God forbid a woman has a good time. Is that what having a good time is nowadays, gentlemen? Getting intoxicated, talking about your situationships to the public so everybody knows how big of a whore you are, how big of a dirty whore you are. My hell, is that having a good time? Sweet heavens, God forbid, if you have men, if you have children, I mean, if you have boys, God save them from the wrath of modern women.
Bad. They weren't that bad, but they were very cringy. And so I woke up the next morning and deleted them. He also didn't follow me on my TikTok, so I was like, I'm safe, it's okay. Well, then we had plans to hang out that night, and I'm like sending him a funny TikTok, and he's like not answering, and he never says anything about hanging out. So then I'm like, okay, I think I might be getting ghosted. Like, I think I might have done something. I'm retracing all of my steps. I'm like, did I drunk call him? Did I text him? Did I say something stupid? Like, what did I do? But then a few days goes by, and we were hanging out for 2 weeks. I deserve an answer. So I text him, and I'm like, King, did I do something wrong? And he's like, well, I saw your TikToks, and like some of them were just a really big turn off to me. And I was like, ha. And then
Yep, it's just embarrassing, guys. It's straight up embarrassing. This post has 60,000 likes, of course, from all women and maybe some pink-haired men as well, but mostly women, right? That for some reason think that this behavior is funny. It's disgusting. If you could have all of humans that have ever existed looking at this TikTok, right? If you could resurrect them, they'll be all looking at this and pointing fingers and laughing. And some people will be like rubbing their hair like, what, where did we go so wrong? Others will be just pointing a finger towards you and mocking you and calling you a whore, which is what you are. It's so embarrassing that this passes by in society. I'm so embarrassed to share a world with these kind of people, guys. It's so embarrassing. Where are your parents? They must be really happy, really proud of their daughter.
then he eventually tells me that I just don't see anything with you anymore. And I'm like, okay, have a good life. That was like 3 months ago, and I'm still thinking about it to this day.
I know, because he's a chat. I knew right from the start when she said, oh, I don't remember who texted first. She did. Everybody knows she did text first, because she's hooked to this one chat who never gave any signs of commitment. She just chased him around. And guys, she fought her way to be his situationship. She literally fought, you know, to be his little toy. But this guy got so disgusted to share the same sex toy with like 15 other men that he said, nah, I'm bailing out.
Day. Like, it crosses my mind at least 4 times a week. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to date him. I was just like, that was such a perfect situationship. You know, no drama, no strings, so easy, so carefree, and I lost it. It was ripped away from me. But again, we didn't want anything to do with each other other than like a situationship. And here I am, still thinking about it, still upset about it. I'm like, oh, the one that got away. Because like, what if we did start dating? Because like, low-key, I think we were both catching feelings, but we both knew it wasn't.
No. He was not catching feelings, sister. Embarrassing, guys. Can you imagine? This woman is such a bad dating option that she's not even useful as a situationship. Can you wrap your mind around that, guys? She's so big of a 304 that she's not even good for a situationship. A situationship is too much of a commitment for this type of woman. It's incredible, guys. Also, she says, oh, I miss the situationship. No, you miss the chad. Because you could have a situation. If you just spread your legs in the middle of the town, I bet that 50 guys will line up to pump you, right? So you could have this situationship with any other man. But then again, guys, she doesn't want it with the 90% of men. She wants it with the 10% of men. And she just missed out on a chad. And right, she's thinking about it all week long, guys.
Going to work, and so I'm still distraught. I'm like, what if?
Okay, just embarrassing, guys. I think that death is a way better sentence than marrying this woman. Holy hell. But now let's move on to our last one before we return to the first TikTok, and let's see what this pig is about. And sorry, I mean, she just has the pig piercing, looks a bit of a pig as well. I know.
Let's talk about building a roster and the quote-unquote male loneliness epidemic. I have a dude that's been in my DMs for almost a month now. He found me on Instagram from like a dating app that we clearly never matched on. So obviously I saw his profile and wasn't interested enough. But
Of course, sis, you're just so much better than literally everyone walking the face of Earth right now. I have so many questions, guys. First off, who matches with this? Is there a single person watching this right now that feels somewhat attracted to this woman? I know, are my standards too high, guys? This is a 1 out of 10, maybe a 2 out of 10 on like the best day of her life. She looks so bad. Who in the freaking hell chases after this woman? I don't understand it. And second, why do you put male loneliness epidemic in quotations? As if it's not the case, as if men are having dating so easy. You have all the studies there. Men are en masse single. You don't need to put it in quotations, you dumbass.
But when he approached me first, I checked out his Instagram and I was like, okay, I'll talk back. I come to find out that he's also local, and that's convenient. Like, yeah, I'll hang out with you, meet you, see if we have chemistry, and if we do, that's awesome, because convenience is awesome when you're an adult. Tell me why it's been like almost a month and he keeps sliding in my DMs saying that we'll hang out but doesn't make a real plan. I literally was like, I will hang out with you, just tell me a time and place. So now I'm here like, how does one even build a roster? And then second of all, I want to help cure the male loneliness epidemic. I'm telling a man I'll hang out with him in person, but he's just dropping the ball.
How dare he, guys? How dare he? This woman is even, she's making the incredible effort, guys, to say, oh, okay, I'll hang out with you. You're quite convenient. I know I've been ghosting you for like 2 months, but okay, you know? Why isn't that enough, gentlemen? Look at her face. She's so confused. I just saved it for the thumbnail. Sweet heavens. Now, guys, the time has come. Let's go back to this. A controversial topic nonetheless. Let's get started.
Men nowadays make me sick. Look what just happened to my daughter.
So there you have the daughter.
Happened to my daughter.
And guys, I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about the mother. She looks like a 304, you know? I'm gonna say it. Fight me. I don't give a shit. You can, if you don't trust me, alright? Oh, Hidan, You are S3-actualizing women. This is a normal outfit for like the summer. Guys, do this. Go to Pornhub, alright? Play any video that starts with the woman dressed, and she's gonna look something like this, right? But we'll move on to that topic later.
Just approached my daughter saying, hello, sexy. How dare she's 16 years old. How dare you come into her face and say, hello, sexy.
I just thought she was very cute.
You thought what, sorry?
She was very cute.
Do you not think that's very wrong, whether you think she's cute or not, to approach a young girl and say, hello, sexy?
How dare you come in my face like that?
Vile.
Yes, I apologize.
You apologize.
So I don't know if you can hear the guy, because he's silent, unlike this woman who's shouting like a harpy. But he says, first, I just thought she was cute. You know, nothing wrong with that. Then he says, I apologize. So I don't know if this guy has had like a heart attack or something. He's quite, he speaks, I don't know if he's just really chill or has had some problem. But he barely speaks, right? He's just voice toned down. But his approach, he's like, well, I just thought she was pretty. And I'm sorry, I apologize. I mean, what else do you want?
Apology is not accepted. You do not approach young girls in the street and call them sexy. Terrible. I pray to God you haven't got children or grandchildren. Pray to God you haven't. Come on.
You weirdo.
Vile.
Mad
Stay away.
weirdo.
And if you carry on saying it to other girls, I'm sure you'll be reported.
Yeah, you will.
Got a fucking report already. You dirty
I'll ring the
bastard.
police on you now.
Oh, no, she'll ring the police, guys. Officer, this guy called me cute. Get the hell out of here. Oh, he done, but she's underage. We'll get into that in a moment. The point is, he called her cute, guys. God forbid, right? God forbid you find a woman attractive. I don't know what the hell the police will do. Knock their finger and tell this man, don't call women cute anymore. What will they do? I mean, it's the UK, so it's not past it, right? They have been arresting people for posting inappropriate Facebook posts, so I won't put it past them. But now, guys, okay, let's talk about this. First, let's go back to the young woman. I'm gonna mute the video because this woman is so annoying. There you have her, guys. I mean, she just looks like a 304. Alright? And I know this is a cultural thing. But for example, in Africa, there are tribes where women go with their breasts out, and men are not turned on by seeing women's breasts because of their culture, because they are used to it, they're accustomed to it. Okay, but you live in Europe, alright? And in Europe, if women go with their boobs out, men are just gonna be wanking it in the middle of the street, alright? It's our culture. So, because this is the argument that these people will say. Oh, it's not S3 actual, it's not an S3 actual dress, you know, it's summer, it's hot. Apologies. This is normal clothing. Again, guys, this is not normal clothing. I know they're really trying to push it. I know they're really trying to normalize it. This, okay, is, I mean, let's be honest, she's not extremely over-sexualized, so half her boobs and half her ass are not hanging out, which by modern standards is conservative clothes, but they are still sexual, right? They will still make men feel thirsty. And if you doubt me on that, if you think that I'm too, you know, like perverted, if you think that I'm sexualizing things, again, go to Pornhub, and any video with a woman who starts dressed is gonna look like her, alright? I'm so tired of pretending otherwise. This is why in the music industry they put women dressed like this, dancing, because it's appealing to the eyes and it sells more. This is why in commercials they've put hot women. I mean, in the last years they've been putting overweight women, but you know, it used to be that they will put an attractive woman dressed in a hot way to, you know, to appeal to men, and it works. And I know it works because I also do it in my thumbnails. If I see a massive pair of knockers, I'll put it in the thumbnail because it gets more views. So everybody knows this, all right? I know this, you know this, the music industry knows this, the movie industry knows this, the commercial industry, everybody in the whole fucking world knows that these clothes will get a reaction out of men. And women, guys, are the first one who know it. This is why when they go clubbing, they always dress like this. You know, I've never seen a woman go to a club in like a coat or in something that, I mean, a coat, okay, it's too hot, right? But you always see them like showing skin or dressed provocatively. Why? Because they are the first ones who understand the effect that it has on men. So can we just stop pretending otherwise, right? So there you go. I'm not saying that this young lady got dressed this way to specifically get a reaction out of men, especially not from like a 60-year-old dude. She couldn't care less about him. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, hey, if you don't want to get a reaction, don't dress like that. Oh, but it's hot. Guys, I've went on in the summer, you know, with a nice t-shirt. I don't need to wear a tank top. I've gone out in the summer with like, you know, slightly longer trousers or pants. It's like, oh, it's hot. Don't worry, you're not going to die, alright? You're not going to pass away. Don't worry, you don't need to be showing more skin than necessary because it's quote-unquote hot. Get off, all the way off my back with these stupid arguments. These clothes will get a reaction out of Caucasian men, an American man, an European man, an Asian man, alright? If you're not like some African tribe where women go with their boobs out, he's gonna get a reaction out of you, alright? Stop pretending otherwise. Now guys, after like a 4-minute analysis, let's move on to what else happens in the video. So there you go, she confronts the guy, and I'll say this, I don't like what this man did. I don't think it's appropriate. I'm not defending the man at all, right? If this was my daughter, I will get upset as well. If I'm her father and I'm walking beside her and I see this dude hitting on her, we're gonna have a problem, right? Why the fuck are you hitting on a girl who... I'll give him this, he probably didn't know she was 16, because women nowadays, they look 15 and 24 at the same time. You cannot really tell. You can't guess their age nowadays. Again, because they dress like 304s. The women, guys, young women nowadays, age 16, literally dress like hookers dressed 2 decades ago. It's the same thing. So there's that. So he probably didn't know she was underage. This doesn't come from a place of being creepy or being a predator or something. No, he's just a horny motherfucking dude, like we've seen thousands of them, alright? So it's still inappropriate, but cut him some slack, you know, he's just a man, right? And you're wearing clothes that of course are gonna get a reaction out of literally every man. Every man is gonna view that and like it. Now, whether they make a move is a different thing. So that's that. So very inappropriate, right? Not great behavior. But then again, this dude doesn't look like he's in all his senses. He's probably had like a heart attack or this thing that happened to the brain, forgot the name. He's not in all his senses. Just stop dramatizing. This woman is shouting so everybody can hear it. Oh, you predator, you predator. He's not a predator. He's just a horny motherfucking uncle, right? Most men are like this. So yeah, just it's so inappropriate. Also, guys, I'll say this: your daughter, madam, probably has a body count in the double digits. All right. Now, I don't know her. She could be a devout Christian virgin. She could be, but chances are she's posting thirst baits on TikTok. Chances are she's choked on 2 wieners at the same time. Look, it's not about this woman. It's not about her daughter. It's about society. And it's not even about this man. It's about society. We either have a, I'll say Christian, you know, set of beliefs where people are prude and we don't sexualize things. And how dare you sexualize my daughter? We either have that, or we either have a society with millions of women on OnlyFans, with millions of women trying to get reactions out of men by the way they dress, with the music industry and movie industry and whatever industry, all industries, trying to sexualize the shit out of women, alright? We have one of those. You pick a lane. But don't put men in this overly sexualized society where everything is intended to make men thirsty and then blame them when they like a woman. All right, don't do that. That's my issue, guys. Let's pick a lane. I will rather prefer the prude society. All right, I will rather prefer women to not sexualize themselves, to not be on OnlyFans. That's what I will prefer. But if you have that, then don't come around complaining when men are thirsty. Let's read just a few comments, guys. First one says, I'll put some gameplay so you have something to look at. Coming from a daughter's dad here, but you are not teaching your child anything good. I mean, as a mother, you should be ashamed. How on earth is she dressed like that at 16? I mean, state of you, not surprised. And I can already hear the people who are like, oh, she's dressed normally. She's not dressed normally. She is, again, literally dressed like a hooker would a decade ago. But it's even today, guys. When you see hookers on the street, right, being suggestive, that's exactly how they look like. That's how pornos start, alright? It's not normal dressing. Just because a society is trying to normalize it doesn't mean it's actually normal. Can you remember, guys, when you were young? I mean, I remember when I was young, guys. Women my age at like 16, they didn't dress like this. They actually dressed like normal people. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, they didn't have a heat stroke every day of their lives. They didn't pass away due to the hot sun. They actually managed to survive wearing a bit more clothes. Another one says, a woman should be able to wear what they want without pervy men saying things to them. Oh, alright. Alright. A woman should be able to wear what they want. Yeah, guys, if you want, go with your boobs out, you know, in the middle of the town. Maybe a butt plug as well. You wear whatever you want, you know, as a woman and man. Or you're not allowed to say anything. Yeah, guys, we're just slaves at this point. You know, we cannot speak, cannot share our minds. We cannot even like women unless they want us to. Because, of course, if we withdraw all the attention, they're gonna unalive themselves, right? So they want the attention. They literally live off of it, but only when they want it. And also only from the types of guys they want it. Because I can bet my ass, if this was like some attractive, tall man, even in his 30s, they will just giggle like, haha, you think I'm cute? Haha. You know? But because he's an elderly guy and she's not interested, we gotta say that he's a predator, right? If women didn't have double standards, they will have no standards at all. So there are a lot of comments. Why send her out dressed like that? A lot of comments. A woman here. For all the creeps in the comments, as a young woman myself, we are allowed to wear skirts and dresses in summer. She looks pretty, but doesn't need weirdos in her face like him. Again, I get the point of like the skirt and the shirt, you know. Or a dress. I mean, when you go to the beach, you don't find it sexual that women are in bikinis, right? You don't need to be going out there and hitting each of them up. So, to some degree, I understand it. I mean, if I saw a woman dressed like that at, I don't know, like a tennis match, they always dress in skirts for tennis matches, right? So, let's just read the room, alright? Read the room. And it's so funny, guys, because I've heard feminists complain about how, oh, it's so patriarchal. Men force us to wear skirts in sports or like really short trousers so they can look at our ass. But then you give them the freedom to choose any clothing they want when they go out on the streets, and they choose those very same clothes that they complain about that are being forced upon them on sports, right? Again, you can't have it both ways. You either think that skirts are allowed, or you either think that they're not. Yada yada. I mean, let's, you know what, let's not read more of them, guys. They just did these comments, these women talking about all this bullshit, guys, just makes me sick, not gonna lie. Again, I don't know what you think. There's probably a lot of people that will disagree with me. Again, I'm not defending the guy. I think that what he did was really inappropriate, but when it comes to society, let's pick a lane. We either have this overly sexualized society, or we don't, alright? And then we can criticize men for being overly sexual. But if you have a society that is literally feeding us porn all day long everywhere, yeah, don't come whining when you or your daughter resemble a literal porn actress before she gets onto action and we find her S3XE, alright? I want to share, guys. I remember this time. So I was living in Spain at that time. And you had this female trend called putty shorts, which literally means 304 shorts. So that's what they call them. And it's basically shorts, like pants, the jeans, that allowed half your butt to be visible. So you had women walking around with 50% of their asses hanging out, right? And you guys, you had like 15-year-old girls wearing these clothes. It was disgusting, you know? And at that time, I shared this with my friends. I said it's extremely disgusting that this trend is even done by like 15-year-old girls. You know, you're not at the age to be sexualizing yourself to such a point. Guys, I've literally seen street hookers dressed more conservative and more like more I know what was the word, like more, yeah, traditional than these 16-year-olds. You're dressed even worse than a hooker. And this is, of course, the parents are to blame as well. I'm just saying what's happening, you know? And they told me, my liberal, retarded, imbecile friends, that, oh, Hidan, why are you sexualizing them? They don't dress with the intention to receive male attention, so why are you sexualizing them? And I'm like, dude, what are you smoking? I am sexualizing them. They're literally walking with like 1 inch covering their buttholes. I'm sexualizing them. Get out of here, man. Yeah, so I don't know what is expected out of us, guys. Maybe at some point women will just go naked on the streets, you know. I know, maybe with a bit of lotion on their boobs as well. And if you look with them with desire, oh, you're S3 actualizing them. It's just the trend now. Get off my back. There are things that are appealing to men, and that's it. It differs between cultures. It differs between ages. Years, you know. Like, for example, for my grandfather to see a woman in a bikini was probably something that it was, you know, overly sexual. For me, it isn't, because ever since I was little, I used to go to the beach and I will see women in bikinis. So, yes, it does change, but, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same, guys. Men are attracted to butts. Men are attracted to boobs. Men are attracted to curves. Men are attracted to all these things, right? And it won't change to that degree. So if you don't want to receive a reaction, don't dress in such a way. There are so many clothes that will not get a reaction out of men, right? And if you specifically go out of your way to do this, you'll get a reaction. So don't complain about it later. You know? So this case that we just covered is the same as the case I mentioned in Spain. It's just that in Spain, of course, it was to a much more degenerate degree, having all the young ladies with, again, half their... Guys, you could see half their cheeks hanging out. It was almost seeing them naked. It was so embarrassing, right? And of course, then I'm to blame because I happen to notice that this other person in front of me is literally walking with half his ass hanging out. I am the one who is overly sexual for pointing that out, you know? Jeez. I know, guys, maybe we men, we should start walking with like half our nuts hanging out. How about that? We make a little hole on our trousers. We let the bad boys sink, you know? And that's it. We walk with half our nuts visible. And then if a woman happens to notice, we say, I'm gonna call the police on you. Oh, stop sexualizing me. I'm such a victim. Why are you pointing out that my nuts are hanging out? It's the hottest trend right now. How about that one, guys? How about we do that one? You know? Like, a lot of the times, men are not even attracted. S3 actually attracted to these women. They just find it gross that I can see so much of you. It's just not natural to be walking in the middle of Europe or in, you know, America and to see a naked person on the street, a half naked person on the street. It's not normal. And you know, guys, how to be able to always tell if clothes are appropriate or not, it's by running this little test, alright? Would your girlfriend feel okay if like your female best friend or your secretary or your maid dressed like this, right? That's the little test. Because women, they dress in such ways to go to the club that they will hate for another woman to be going circles around you in the same clothes. You know what I mean? Like if you take their clothes, they're going to the club, right? And they say, oh, my clothes are not revealing. I'm not wearing them to get a reaction out of men and all this bullshit. Take their clothes, put them on another woman, have her make circles around you and see how your girl feels, right? Because she probably won't feel comfortable. So take a look at the clothes that she is wearing. Do you think that most women will feel comfortable if your, say, secretary dressed like that in her little skirt, you know, at work? Hey, boss, can I get you a coffee? You know, will they feel comfortable if your maid dressed like this and went to clean your house in like her little skirt, you know? Or if your babysitter dressed like this, will your woman feel comfortable to, I know, leave you two alone and go shopping? Just, it doesn't pass the test, guys. These clothes are just not appropriate. But let me know what you think. Am I being too much of a patriarchal pig, old-fashioned? Let me know, guys, what your opinion is.